On the Global News Express, Tinubu suspends rare boards. Directors over alleged 1.2 billion naira fraud. FG inaugurates Oronsaya Report Implementation Committee. NBC appeals judgment, stopping imposition of fines on broadcast stations. Nigeria witnessed forex inflows increase in February. CBN. U.S. to set up temporary ports and Gaza coast for aid delivery. And in sports, NFF shops for new Super Eagles coach. Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Express on Global Television. We're live in the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Queen Agaba. President Bola Tinubu has directed relevant ministries, departments and agencies of the federal government to ensure that the outcomes of research in science and technology are used to enrich policies that impact the real sector. Tinubu issued the directive when the president of the Nigerian Academy of Science and the fellows of the academy paid him a courtesy visit at the State House in Abuja. Uyi Agbomofuegbe has the rest of the story.
Speaking at the event, President Tinubu emphasized that his administration is advancing an all-encompassing approach to leveraging the capacity of Nigerians to innovate and create solutions from all spheres of human initiative across the public and private sectors, including farming, manufacturing, information technology, and academia, adding that his administration is committed to the comprehensive integration of research and the outcomes of research with the process of policy formulation and implementation in all fields of national endeavor.
Goal of the National Academy of Science and funding for science and development. I am fully committed and I work at it. And others, you bear witness to this. We have to work hard and plan well.
During his investiture as the grand patron of science by the Academy, the president said the pace of change around the world, reflected in some national and global challenges, requires more reliance on research for solutions and actionable data, especially in health and education. He therefore called on all relevant ministries to brace up and ensure that science research guides process development in relevant areas of advantage.
I believe without great research and development, no nation can develop to achieve its desire. Paying attention to science and development is a commitment that I will continue to support directly and through various government policies and programs.
In her remarks, the president of the Nigerian Academy of Science, Professor Ekanem Braid, said a national research fund should be established as the country moves towards a knowledge-driven economy. Listing some of the interventions and achievements of the Academy in improving the lives of Nigerians, Professor Braid further advised that the nation's 265 universities, 84 polytechnics, and 205 colleges of education be upscaled in science research infrastructure and funding.
Do this by strengthening the nation's ability to deliver the fruits of science to society by the acquisition, growth, and dissemination of sound scientific knowledge and the facilitation of its use in solving many national problems. Specifically, our mandate is to assist government in addressing major national problems that can be solved by the application of science, technology, and innovation. We provide advice on specific problems of a scientific or technological nature.
The president acknowledged the historic feat of Professor Ekanem Braid in emerging as the first female president of the Nigerian Academy of Science since its establishment in 1997. Uyi Agbomofuegbe, reporting for Global Television.
President Bola Tinubu has indefinitely suspended the Managing Director, Chief Executive Officer of the Rural Electrification Agency, Ahmed Salhijo, alongside 3 executive directors of the agency from office. This followed new findings unearthed during a comprehensive investigation into the financial activities of the Rural Electrification Agency. The State House revealed in a statement signed by the President's Special Advisor on Media and Publicity, Ajuri Ngelale. Aside from Salhijo, the President also suspended the Executive Director, Corporate Services, Olani Netufo, Executive Director, Technical Services, Baraka Sajo, and Executive Director, Rural Electrification Fund, Sadatu Balgore. The federal government inaugurated a committee for the implementation of the Onrosaye report, which majorly recommends the merger of the government's ministries, departments, and agencies to cut the cost of governance. The inauguration of the implementation committee followed the announcement by the President Bola Tinubu-led federal government on February 28, 2024, that part of the recommendations in the 12-year-old Onrosaye report will be implemented. The 800-page report recommended that 263 of the statutory agencies be slashed to 161, 38 agencies be scrapped, 52 be merged, and 14 be reverted to departments in various ministries, among others. Senators have celebrated with their female legislators to commemorate International Women's Day. President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, suspended the plenary to celebrate women senators by cutting cake with the female senators to mark the International Women's Day. Reacting, Senator Mohammed Monguno, Borno State, called for women inclusivity in governance. Kike Lomo Okere has details.
We allow it to the normal course of events. It is very difficult for women to achieve par with men in decision-making process. So as legislators, as we celebrate the International Women's Day, we should have it at the back of our mind that women are grossly underrepresented in decision-making process, and it's a clarion call on us to take deliberate steps with a view to bringing about inclusivity in governance, particularly with regard to gender representation of women in governance.
Also, Senator Idiat Oloronti Adebule from Lagos State described women as pillar for national development and urged institutions of governance to increase support for women in the country.
However, I want to encourage women not to rest on their hands. Some have been out, they've contested, they've lost the election. And as such, they've withdrawn. This is not the time to withdraw. It is time to continue to push. And as long as we continue to push, by the grace of God, they will see the potential in you and give you the support that you need.
Plenary was finally adjourned to next week after considering bills and motion on the floor. Kike Lomo Okere, Global Television News.
Women have been urged to take initiative and carve a path of empowerment that strengthens multidimensional inclusion in a bid to close the gender gap. This was the focus of an event put together by women from a wide range of backgrounds to commemorate the 2024 International Women's Day. Sharon Ajay, who was there for Global Television, now tells us more.
The event, hosted by Dr. Charity Akumbo to celebrate the creativity, resourcefulness, and accomplishment of women, built a narrative around the urgent need to evolve initiatives that align with this theme of the 2024 International Women's Day, which is Inspire Inclusion. Dr. Charity commended women for their resilience and the impact they make in all various fields of endeavor, urging them to stay focused while making a difference globally.
We're also trying to encourage women to get involved in whatever is going on in the society, in the workplace, and in their private lives and in their homes. That's why you've seen that we brought together a lot of personalities from different fields, in business, in health, in policies that concern women, and professionalism, ethics at work, because we want women to get the information, all the information they need that will make them a better woman. So to also fight against stereotype and gender inequality.
On her part, Margari Kuba Okadigbo acknowledged the criteria role women play in society, particularly in addressing gender inequality. Senator Okadigbo also enlightened the women on their role in educating their male children on the right attitude to have in the face of gender inequality.
I think we as women, we have a major role to play, even in the case of gender inequality, because as mothers, we are the hands that rock the cradle, and we are the ones who let our male children know that they must carry their sisters on equal terms. So I think mothers need to start doing that. And then most of this stuff, we would have started talking about it.
While calling on everyone to create the right environment for the fight against gender inequality, Senator Margari further added that women should be given a chance while prioritizing female education and enabling the girl child access to acquisition of basic skills needed to aid economic empowerment.
All stakeholders, government and agencies, businesses, civil society, and the international community to accelerate efforts towards women's economic empowerment. We must create an enabling environment that promotes gender equality and provides women with equal opportunities to thrive and succeed.
Citing policy-related factors that affect women, Dr. Chinelo Irele made a case for deliberate implementation.
We have so many policies that define what will be better for the women in the world, and especially in Nigeria. We don't lack policies. What we need is to implement these policies, so have them enforced.
The overarching theme for the 2024 International Women's Day is Invest in Women, Accelerate Progress. Sharana J. reporting for Global TV.
Youths from the south of Nigeria under the umbrella of Brain Builders Youth Development Initiative BBYDI have called for youth participation in Nigeria's democracy and governance for the betterment of the country's economy and political system. The youth body made the call during its enlarged regional town hall meeting in Uyo, Akwa Ibom State capital. Edika Michael has the report.
The event, championed by the organization through its Youth Gov Tracker project, discussed engaging youth in democracy, a caution for good governance, and recorded participation from Akwa Ibom, Bayelsa, Delta, Cross River, and Rivers to raise youth agency as active citizens, bridge government-youth divide, and drive public accountability. The convener and the Akwa Ibom State vocal person for Youth Gov Tracker, Menyane Kang, lauded the effort of BBYDI, stressed the importance of active citizenships and shared interest in regional and national development.
It is building a brighter future for the youth, democracy and governance in the South-South region and Nigeria in extension. So, the essence of our being here today is a consultative one. Nobody will do all the talking. I believe in the course of the event, we will have opportunities to speak our mind, bear our thoughts on issues bordering on youth meaningful participation in politics and governance. And this is us moving toward the direction of bridging the gap between the governors in South-South region, elected officials, and young people.
In his keynote address, Udeme O'Connor said youth must know that they will keep getting sidelined and kept out of governance if they do not take action and make meaningful contributions.
There is a place that you would have worked towards forestalling this thing happening, and then you wait for the thing to happen and then you begin to pray about it. Truth is, bad leadership cannot be prayed away. It won't. And so if we do not rise to the occasion, take part in the decision-making process, determination of outcomes, all the way down to unit levels, to ward levels, politics at the very local levels of it, It simply means that we're going to continue to lament, complain, and whine over bad leadership. But what did you do to forestall it? What did you do to make sure that we enthrone purposeful leadership?
The South-South Regional Town Hall meeting also exposed participants to actionable steps, such as engaging with the Youth Gov Tracker and other resources and tools, including the Office of the Citizens Accountability Toolkit, and many of possible commitment as launched and circulated for civic engagement and government accountability, among other highlights. Edikan Michael, reporting for Global TV News.
The National Broadcasting Commission has filed an appeal against the ruling of the Federal High Court, which dismissed the Commission's motions, to set aside a May 2023 judgment, restraining it from imposing fines on radio and television stations. In a foreground notice of appeal filed by NBC's lead counsel, Babajide Koko, senior advocate of Nigeria, it complained about the decision of the lower court while asking the appellate to set aside the earlier judgment. An Abuja-based lawyer, Noah Ajare, in a suit instituted on behalf of Media Rights Agenda, had challenged the powers of the NBC to fine broadcasters following the imposition of 500,000 naira fine each on 45 broadcast stations for alleged contraventions of the Nigerian Broadcasting Code in 2019. Given his ruling, Justice James Omotosho held that only courts of law are empowered to impose sanctions for criminal offences, noting that NBC was neither a court nor a judicial tribunal to make pronouncement on the guilt of broadcast stations, notwithstanding the NBC Code, thereby violating the Constitution. The Speaker and members of the Kano State House of Assembly have been ordered by Kano State High Court to halt their efforts to amend the Kano State Judiciary Fund's Management Law 2022, the Kano State Pension and Gratuity Amendment Law 2023, and the Kano State House of Assembly Service Commission Amendment Law 2021. While the motion is being heard and decided upon, Judge Usman Malam Naaba of the Kano State High Court granted the ex parte order after considering the application of M.I. Umar, the applicant's counsel, and a 19-paragraph affidavit that was duly sworn to by Sule Aliyu and Muntari Rabiu, the chairman and secretary, respectively, of the Judiciary Staff Union of Nigeria's Kano State branch. The respondents in the suit are the governor of Kano State, the Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice, the Kano State House of Assembly, the Speaker, the Deputy Speaker, the Majority Leader, and the Minority Leader. Nigeria is set to become the first country to receive a groundbreaking new Men5 vaccine aimed at combating meningitis outbreaks in the country. According to the Global Alliance for Vaccines and Immunizations, Gavi, on its official website, the vaccine shows promise in combating the current meningococcus C outbreak in the country. The potentially fatal illness impacting the protective membranes around the brain and spinal cord poses a significant danger in regions like Africa. Gavi said the vaccine, developed through a remarkable 13-year collaboration between Perth and the Serum Institute of India, with support from the UK government, targeted 5 main strains of meningococcal meningitis, including the elusive serogroup X. As Inter-Ministerial Committee calls for state of emergency on drug abuse, Chairman, Chief Executive Officer of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, Brigadier General Mohammed Buba Marwa, retired, has said that the ongoing amendment of the NDLEA Act, when passed into law, will significantly enhance the organizational capabilities of the agency to curb the menace of substance abuse and illicit drug trafficking in the country. Marwa stated this while making his remarks at the opening ceremony of the Inter-Ministerial Committee (IMC) on Drug Control meeting in Abuja, while acknowledging the tremendous work of the IMC in the implementation of the National Drug Control Master Plan, NDCMP 2021 to 2025, he said the collaboration from stakeholders towards achieving the stated goals of the NDCMP is also deserving of appreciation. He outlined some of the activities and achievements of NDLEA in 2023 in line with the National Action Plan on Drug Control.
Another positive development is the amendment of the NDLEA Act. This act is being amended for the first time in 33 years. It has gone very well. So far, the House of Reps has cleared it, and we had a small setback in the Senate in terms of a delay. I think it has been referred back to one of the committees, but we will soon sit with them, iron out what needs to be ironed out and represented. So we are confident that it will also be passed by the Senate, and before long it will be presented to Mr. President for his assent. That amendment of the Act will give the NDLEA more bite in our operations. So Nigeria will join other countries in the world in taking stock of the implementation at the national, regional, and international levels of commitments as reflected in the Ministerial Declaration of 2019 to address the global drug problems.
Now, the achievements of all of you over these past years in enhancing drug law enforcement, in improving and increasing accessibility to treatment, in rolling out prevention to hopefully the young generation in great numbers, and now most recently starting to look into issues of harm reduction and of issues of alternative development. I think these are all really milestones that you...
In celebration of the International Women's Day, the Nigerian Women for Agricultural Progress, NWAFP, has advocated for the women farmers' inclusion and recognition of women farmers' achievements in the agricultural sector. Sharon Ajay gives us more details.
Dealing with the insecurity problems of farmers and their farmlands, the Senior Special Assistant to the President, Food and Security, Yejide Ogundife, says that the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has put in measures to curtail such practices, assuring farmers of a peaceful work life void of fear of insecurity.
The military, the army, the police, they are out to drive out those bandits so that farmers could go back to the farm. And we thank God that gradually farmers are going back to the farm. And not only that, there is this creation of agri rangers. Those are the people that will go to the farms and protect our farmers. That's part of what our president is doing and this government.
Expressing our excitement for Alpha Women Farmers have come, National Coordinator NWAP Omolara Stevenson urged women farmers to take their stand and to also leverage on the power they have as women farmers.
Because enough is enough. We've had enough. So, I want to appreciate us. And I want every single one of us here today to start understanding how powerful you are.
Omolara has stated that part of the aim of NWAP is to increase the output, increase the output of food production in Nigeria and to enrich the lives of grassroots farmers.
It's all about what's my output. So in another 3 to 4 months, we will be coming here again to show you what our output is from Southwest, Southeast, and then we start with North Central. And so, yeah, so it's all about the output. All the noise we're making is to improve the output of food production in Nigeria. And by so doing, we are enriching the life of our grassroots farmers, real farmers, not political farmers, not portfolio farmers. That's the expectation.
Sharon Ajay reporting for Global TV News.
Now, before we end the news, let's take a look at some some of our top stories. Tinubu suspends REA board directors over alleged 1.2 billion naira fraud. FG inaugurates Oronsaya Report Implementation Committee. NBC appeals judgment stopping imposition of fines and broadcast stations. Nigeria witnessed forex inflows increase in February. U.S. to set up temporary ports on Gaza coast for aid delivery. And that's it on News Express, and it came to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We're on Star Times channel 276. Kindly follow us on all social media platforms using @GlobalTVNG and other handles now showing on your screen. I'm Queen Agaba. Thank you for watching. See you again.